As someone who bought a full-size stroller as our first stroller and kind of adopted an all-terrain stroller, the all-terrain stroller quickly became our most used and is still our most used stroller in the garage. I've got a few if you've watched our other videos, because it really just is so versatile for being out and about with your little ones. So without further ado, let's get into today's review. Hey friends, it's Melissa here from Team Bugz, and I am so excited to be reviewing some of our best all-terrain strollers of 2025. Today, we will be going through the Alterrain Pro, the Thule Urban Glide 3, the Uppababy Ridge, and the Bumbleride Indy. Now, these strollers all have some similarities, as you can visually see. They also have a lot of differences. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's talk about the all-terrain stroller category. So all-terrain strollers are often bought by people who are runners because they have larger wheels. They typically have advanced suspension, a deeper seat well, and a higher weight limit capacity. So that does appeal to the average runner because it is just more comfortable and easier to run with a three-wheeled all-terrain stroller. That being said, as someone who thought a jogging stroller was just for runners and who occasionally runs myself, I will have to say I don't often take my all-terrain stroller with me, but we use ours all the time because an all-terrain stroller is really great for, the average outdoor family. So we take ours to the park. We can easily hop the curb, go over the grass, go over the mulch, go over the sand. We take ours disc golfing. We take it, anywhere and everywhere, but I do find it performs really well in those off-road, hiking, walking adventures. So just some food for thought in terms of an all-terrain stroller. If you are not necessarily a runner or don't plan to take your baby on a run with you or your toddler on a run with you, that does not mean an all-terrain stroller is not for you. The other great thing about an all-terrain stroller is all of the options we're reviewing with you today can actually be used from birth, either with the seat, a bassinet, or an infant car seat sold separately. So you do have a lot of options to use this stroller from birth. They typically have a higher weight limit capacity, up to 75 pounds. So this actually could be your one and done stroller. So without further ado, let's get into comparing each of these strollers. Let's kick things off with the Alterrain Pro stroller. Now, for those of you who have watched any of our historical content, I have one of these in my garage and I absolutely love it. We use it as a daily driver with my little ones because it really is just so great for outdoor adventures. So the stroller weighs in at 32.3 pounds. Your toddler seat can actually accommodate a child up to 75 pounds. The whole stroller itself, meaning the toddler seat plus the basket, can accommodate up to 75 pounds. So in terms of basket weight capacity, take 75 minus your child's weight, and that's how much you can fit in the bottom basket. In the toddler seat itself, you have a no rethread harness. You also have this nice kind of lumbar support around the back. You have a nice kind of footwell and footrest area for your little one, a nice big full coverage canopy with some reflective detailing around the edge to just help in low visibility. I really love this kind of chat peekaboo window that they have at the top here. It's got a little mesh panel. My little ones love to kind of look up and have a little conversation while we are walking through the neighborhood. You also have a 9-position adjustment handlebar, plus you have a handbrake built into the handlebar itself, as well as, of course, your wrist tether to just help you control the stroller a bit more if you're in kind of hilly terrain or out for a run, because you never want to lose the handlebar and then lose the stroller. You can see here that we have really nice big wheels in both the back and front position of your Alterrain Pro. These are air-filled tires, and you can also see here that you've got just really excellent suspension on your frame, which is great. Your front wheel is of course lockable. If you are taking your stroller out for a run, then you typically want to lock that front wheel. It just gives you a lot more stability, but also if you're going through, you know, really loose ground, whether that be sand or snow, sometimes it can really help to lock that front wheel. Now let's talk about our from birth option with the Bugz Alterrain Pro. So you can actually attach infant car seat adapters and an infant car seat to the frame of this stroller to use it from birth, which is a really nice option. You can also use this stroller with just the toddler seat from around that 8-week mark. So you'll want to have the seat in a full recline position to accommodate that. You can see here we're in a full recline. It's not a full flat recline, which is why you're starting at around that 8-week mark. And you'll also, of course, want to make sure that you are only walking at that stage. Running with your stroller starts anywhere between the 8, 12 to 15 month mark. It really is dependent on the core stability and kind of overall stability of your child. So it's definitely something where we recommend checking in with your pediatrician before actually hitting the trails running with your stroller. So let's pop our seat back into the upright position. While we're here, you can see that we do have 2 mesh pockets at the back of our seat, and we also have 2 additional pockets on the seat interior, plus a zippered pocket at the back of the canopy here. So some nice onboard storage options. Plus we've got our nice big covered basket. This is actually covered with a zip cover, which I do find really nice for days out when you're kind of, I don't know about you guys, but I love going disc golfing and the kids love joining us, and we pack in all the water bottles and all the accoutrements and snacks for a day out, and just having them nice and covered just keeps things a little bit more stable in that rougher terrain. Now, let's take a quick look at the fold. So you have a very easy fold on this stroller. You're just going to pop your canopy up, then underneath the footwell here on your front seat, you kind of push this yellow button in and twist at the same time. Then you are getting into a folded position. The stroller does have a lock off. It can go into a self-standing fold. I do find that this can go relatively easily into our vehicle, so no issues there if you have a larger vehicle. And then when you're ready to rock again, you're just going to unfold the side of your frame, pop your stroller frame out, and you are back in action with the Bugz Alterrain Pro. Now let's chat about the Thule Urban Glide 3. I do find that the Bugz Alterrain Pro and the Thule Urban Glide 3 are both very similar in that they're more in the heavy-duty all-terrain stroller category and very often used by runners. That being said, visually you can see that there are quite a few differences between the 2 strollers. So let's chat about some of the key specs of the Thule Urban Glide 3. This stroller weighs in at 26.2 pounds. It can accommodate a child from about the 6-month plus mark all the way to 48.5 pounds or 22 kilograms. Now, the basket at the bottom of the stroller can accommodate an additional 15 pounds. Some of the things that I really love about the Thule Urban Glide 3 are that they have really extended the length of the canopy, especially when comparing it to the Thule Urban Glide 2. So now you have that much more extension in the canopy. I'm thinking we're getting like an extra 6+ inches. Plus you have an additional peekaboo mesh ventilation panel at the top here to really maximize airflow and keeping an eye on your little one. You have another little peekaboo window up top here as well. You also have alongside the edge of the canopy this reflective detailing, which is again great for low light situations. Our handlebar has multi-position adjustment with a twist brake, which is kind of cool. So in addition to your wrist strap, which is a great thing to use on hilly terrain or if you're running with your stroller, you also have that twist brake to help you just kind of control speed, especially if you're, going downhill, running with a child in the stroller. You really want to have that extra control, which is, I love how they've done this twist brake. It's very unique to Thule. Now, while we're back here, let's take a quick look at the recline of the seat. So I mentioned that the seat could be used from around that 6-month mark because you are getting a nice recline position. And then they've also improved the stroller so that the seat actually sits more upright when in the upright position. So Historically with Thules, you used to be quite far back, but now your child is kind of still up and part of the scene in their stroller. Let's talk about our from birth options with the Thule Urban Glide 3. So you've got two really great from birth options. You can purchase adapters to use with an infant car seat, or you can also use it with a Thule bassinet, which is a really nice option to use with your newborn. So love the versatility of the Urban Glide 3. On the seat interior here, you can see we've got a no rethread harness. We've also got little pockets on the interior of our seat, and we've also got some pockets at the back of the seat. So we've got pockets on the seat back itself. We've got a zipped pocket at the back of our basket. Plus we've also got a nice zipped basket back here to protect your things on the go. While we're back here, let's take a look at our wheels. So the Thule has massive wheels that are air-filled tires. So we've got our two big wheels at the back. Then you have your front wheel, which can easily lock off again to give you just more comfort and control when jogging with this stroller. I really like just the handlebar is very ergonomic in how it is structured. It's a very comfortable handlebar to use. You also have, of course, some really great shocks and suspension with this stroller. You can see it moving when you look between the wheel and the frame, and that's just, again, added comfort for the user and your little one. Now we are ready to fold our Thule Urban Glide 3. So I actually like to put my handlebar in the most downward position. You don't have to do that, but I do find you get a more compact fold. I'm gonna pop my canopy back. While I'm here, I'm going to show you that you actually do have an adjustable calf rest on the Urban Glide 3. You just open up this footwell here, pull this metal piece down, and it pops into the frame just to give your babe a little bit more comfort on the go. But when we are ready to fold, we are just going to take this gray twist here. You pull it towards you, twist, and then you're going to fold your stroller. You have a nice compact fold here. When you're ready to use it again, you will open the lock off on the side, pop your frame back and out into place, canopy down, handlebar up, and you're ready to rock with the Thule Urban Glide 3. One of the hardest things about these best of videos is every stroller or car seat that I demo, I always want to start off with, this is one of my favorites, or this is the best, because they truly are the best of the best. All of the strollers that we are reviewing today have different features that make them best of in their category, and the Uppababy Ridge is no exception. So let's start it off with top line stats. The stroller weighs in at 29.2 pounds. It can accommodate a child from around 3 to 6 months, really dependent on that core stability, all the way to 55 pounds. The basket at the bottom can accommodate an additional 20 pounds. Now, this stroller is a really cool all-terrain stroller. One of the features that I really love about it is I do find it kind of evokes the most full-size stroller features of the all-terrain category. So you're getting a seat that sits kind of nice and far forward. You have some really nice from birth options, and just overall, like, the stroller structure is it's a very smooth ride. It's very comfortable. It's very cohesive with other Uppababy products. So with that being said, let's talk about that from birth option. So one of the cool things about the Ridge is that either with the fabrics, the seat fabrics on or off, meaning you can remove the seat fabric and just use the frame. You can use the stroller from birth with an infant car seat. We love pairing it with the Mesa V2 or the Aria, which we're going to be showing you here. Or you can also pair it with the Uppababy bassinet, which is a great bassinet option to use from birth because it's also rated safe for overnight sleep. So some other features that I love about the Uppababy Ridge is that you have a nice full coverage canopy with a nice ventilation panel built in, a little peekaboo window up top. You also have a little pocket at the top, which is nice for throwing your cell phone, ID, or keys, or even just plugging your headphones in there. You've got a nice adjustable handlebar here with a handbrake. Again, great for control on those trails. In the seat itself, you've got some nice pockets for your little one to store their goodies. And you've got a no rethread harness, which is great for, you know, growing with your little one. You've got really nice padding on your harness straps, plus some additional lumbar support for your little one, which is great for those outdoor adventures where things are a little bit bumpier than usual. Now let's take a look at the recline of this seat. So we have a nice pull recline. We get to a, what I would say is a near flat position. It's definitely not a full flat recline, which is why we aren't using this stroller right from birth with the toddler seat. But I do love in this recline position that you also have a nice mesh ventilation panel, which is just great for maximizing airflow to your little one, especially if they're having a little nap on the go. So let's pop our seat back into the upright position and use this opportunity to showcase the basket at the back. So our basket on the Uppababy Ridge has this nice kind of flip top at the top section, but then it also has a zipper so that you can open the basket even more. This is a massive basket fitting 20 pounds. It is really nice and spacious, so definitely a great option if you want to take a picnic on the go. You've also got some nice pockets built into the basket itself, so just overall really great in terms of usability. While we're at the back, let's talk about these wheels. You have 12 and 16-inch tires, 16 inches at the back. Contrary to the other three all-terrain strollers that we are reviewing today, the Uppababy Ridge tires are actually made of EVA foam filled, so they are never flat, meaning you don't need to pump them up with air, which is a really nice option for some families. You also have advanced responsive suspension, which creates just overall comfort and a great ride for both the rider or the caregiver as well as the child. Uppababy also uses a disc brake system, which is pretty cool. You can kind of see it as you're looking in here. The brakes look a little different than other strollers, and it's just a really nice aesthetic feature, but also high utility. On the front of the stroller, you've also got a front wheel lock off that you can just activate with the press of a button that you're of course going to use when jogging or in rougher terrain with your little one. Another really cool feature on the Uppababy Ridge is that they actually include this removable water bottle holder with your stroller purchase. So that's a really nice option. Again, just you've got the basket, you've got your water bottle holder, you've got all your pockets. Maybe you don't need a stroller organizer this time. So love just this extra feature because of course, if you are going on outdoor adventures, you're gonna have a big water bottle with you. Drink your water, everybody, stay hydrated. Now let's talk about the fold on the Uppababy Ridge. It's another great fold. It is also self-standing. So same with the other strollers, we're gonna pop up this footwell to reveal this piece here in the bottom of the frame. You're gonna press in on this gray button and twist at the same time, fold your stroller, then you get a nice self-standing fold with the Uppababy Ridge, which is a great feature. When you're ready to use the stroller again, you actually, instead of having a side lock on the stroller frame, you actually just use this same twisting motion to open the frame back up and get your Uppababy Ridge back in action and ready to hit the trails. Now let's get into the Bumbleride Indy. Now, one of the coolest features about the Bumbleride Indy is just how environmentally conscious Bumbleride has been in the entire manufacturing process of this stroller, from plastic-free packaging to the all-cork handle. We'll get into more of those details in a second because it is really impressive, just the sustainability that is packed into this stroller. Now, the Bumbleride Indy stroller weighs in at 24 pounds and it can accommodate a child up to 55 pounds. It is the only stroller that we're reviewing today that can actually be used from birth with the toddler seat, no additional accessories, infant car seats, or bassinets required. So let me quickly show you exactly how that works. So when we recline our toddler seat into a full recline position, we are getting a near flat recline. Plus, you can also pop this footwell up, move your fabrics around, and actually plug them into the side of the frame to have a bit of that pram body style for comfort for your little one, your newborn, while out on the road. So I love that this stroller has a from birth option right from the box. The basket on the Bumbleride Indy can accommodate an additional 15 pounds. Now, unlike the other all-terrain strollers that we've reviewed today, this basket is more open concept, we'll call it. So it does not have a zip cover, but it does have a nice zippered compartment here, which holds your air pump that actually comes in the box with your stroller. So this is just a really nice add-on feature that makes life on the go with your Bumbleride Indy that much easier, because you have 3 12-inch tires on this stroller that are air-filled, plus you've got some really nice suspension. Now, in addition to being able to use the toddler seat from birth, you can also use this stroller as a travel system with an infant car seat purchased separately with adapters or with a bassinet. So you actually have 3 from birth options with the Bumbleride Indy. Now with your Bumbleride Indy, you have a nice full coverage canopy with an additional pop-out sunshade to give your little one even more protection from the elements. Plus you've got a nice peekaboo mesh panel back here to help maximize airflow for your little one or for your little conversations on the go. At the back of the stroller seat, you also have a nice zippered pocket here to stash your phone or your keys or your wallet, any small things that you need to bring with you on the go. Now we introduced some of the eco features such as the plastic-free packaging and the cork handle at the hop, but I've brought in my notes because I want to make sure I get the rest of this health checklist of the Bumbleride Indy accurate, because it really does bring so many great sustainability features. So we have non-toxic Okotex certified fabrics, free from PFSAs, fire retardant, PVC, BPA, phthalates, polyurethane foam, chlorine, vinyl, and formaldehyde. Plus, 50% of any plastic frame components are sourced from upcycled fishing nets, and different colorways of this stroller are also made with individual sustainability measures based on the needs of the colorway. So whether or not that's using less water or using recycled materials in the colorways themselves, it kind of depends based on the color. And if any of you could have said that without notes, give yourself extra brownie points, because that was an impressive list. Now let's take a look at the fold of the Indy. So when we're folding, we are going to pop our canopy into an upright position, and very different than the other all-terrain strollers that we are reviewing today, you have just these 2 toggles on the side of your frame that you're going to pop over to get a nice folded position. Then when you're ready to unfold, you will just open the lock off on the side of your frame, pop your stroller back out, and you are ready to go again. So there we have the Bumbleride Indy. As you can probably tell through this review, the Bumbleride Indy falls more into the full-size, everyday all-terrain strollers side of the spectrum of the category than being a deeply all-terrain stroller that's intended for jogging, which is more the Bob and Thule side of the scale. So I definitely find that this is such an incredible stroller for so many families who want, an everyday stroller with that all-terrain capability. And worth noting, for families with 2 or expecting twins, the Bumbleride Indy does also come as a twin option. So now that we have reviewed all of these strollers individually, let's kind of compare side by side some of those key differences. So your Bob Alterrain Pro definitely has the highest weight limit capacity of up to 75 pounds once you remove any weight that you're carrying in the basket. So this is your highest weight limit capacity all-terrain stroller that we're showcasing today. You've got a really nice handbrake. This stroller can be used from birth with an infant car seat. With your Thule Urban Glide 3, you can use this stroller from birth with an infant car seat or a bassinet, all sold separately, of course, but definitely a nice way to customize your stroller to use from birth. The Thule Urban Glide 3 also has a double option if you are needing a stroller to accommodate 2 children. With your Uppababy Ridge, this is an interesting stroller because it actually has a car seat and a bassinet in the same brand family. So you can easily attach your Uppababy Mesa or Aria car seat or the Uppababy Bassinet V3. So lots of different options to use this stroller from Bugz. I do find the Uppababy Ridge probably looks and behaves the closest to a traditional full-size stroller, whereas, maybe the Bob and the Thule are a little bit more, fall further into the all-terrain category. With the Bob, the Thule, and the Bumbleride Indy, you're getting tires that are air-filled, whereas with the Uppababy Ridge, you have never flat tires. With the Bumbleride Indy, this stroller also has a from birth option to use with an infant car seat or a bassinet. And if you have twins, this stroller has a great twin option with a side-by-side selection. So really great options with the Bumbleride Indy. Of course, this stroller is, heralds the most eco-friendly features that we've reviewed today. So if you are looking for something that's made with recycled and more organic materials, then your Bumbleride Indy is definitely a great option for that. This stroller is also the only one that we've reviewed today that can be used from birth with just the toddler seat in the full recline position. So there you have it, the core. We've gone through each of the strollers. We've now summarized the core differences. Let's talk about choosing the perfect stroller for your family. Really what it comes down to is budget, lifestyle. Are you planning to use this more day to day, or are you strictly looking for a running stroller and so you want just more of those in-depth all-terrain features? If you're using it more day to day, you might want something that's a little bit lighter weight, something that, evokes a bit more of those full-size stroller features and is a little bit more versatile. Some other features that you'll want to consider are just, what are your feature priorities? How important are the wheels? How important are the shocks? How important is canopy coverage? How important is the braking and handlebar system? How important is the toddler seat setup, whether it be a rethread, no rethread harness, how far the seat back is? So lots of different options to consider. But once you have a bit of a game plan in mind, then it is very easy to select between these strollers. If you still need a bit of help, we have all of these strollers on the floor in every Snuggle location. So you should head on in, you can pull the stroller out, test it out for yourself, walk it around the store, get a feel for what the best stroller is for your growing family. All right, my friends, so that is our best of 2025 all-terrain stroller roundup. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll catch you on the next one.